Hello, YouTube Intuitive Edge. So I started a video. As you can see, I've got some cards laid out, and I forgot to plug my device in, and the battery died, and it lost everything before I saved it. So I wanted to jump in, let you know where I was at with this reading and what this is about. And then I'll probably do a shuffle up again and do another one on top of this, just because this kind of got waylaid a little bit. So what I was doing was I was looking into what happened and what the story is concerning Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist that was allegedly murdered in Turkey in the consulate for Saudi Arabia. Now, the reason I wanted to do this reading is because there's been so much in the news that doesn't quite pass the smell test to me. There's conflicting narratives, conflicting stories as to what really happened and what's gone on, and it just seems like there's a lot of eagerness to blame, and so I just wanted to look at what was really going on. So I prayed and shuffled up the cards, and as I shuffled, I laid out the cards, and it was like silence. Sometimes I lay out cards, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's like it comes so quickly that I can't keep up with what I'm getting. Other times it was like, today it was like, I laid out the cards, and it was like silence. And so I sat for a few moments, and I just kind of meditated and prayed about what were these cards saying. And I got some kind of interesting messages that came through. And I think that what this story is about, I think what the universe at least was telling me, is that there's more to this story than meets the eye. I think there's more going on than what we're being told, and I think that some of it might be a smokescreen hiding some deeper truths about what this is really about. So the first card, I did a Celtic cross spread. The first card I got was the Sun card. Generally a positive card. It's crossed by the Four of Sea, which is kind of a sad card. But initially I sat for quite a while with this Sun card and just kind of to see, okay, it's like I felt like I couldn't get going with this reading until it was like I had this pregnant pause where I had to just sit with this. And then it slowly started to come to me with this Sun card, and this card to me felt a lot of power coming through it after some time had gone by. The Sun card, this card is like, to me, this is indicative of a powerful figure who is about to shed light on something. Now, okay, before I get into it, I have to say what I was guided to do when I laid these cards out. I felt the Spirit impressing upon me to throw out everything I knew about this, what I'd heard in the news. Just throw it all out and just let the cards speak for themselves. So I would encourage you, if you could, suspend everything that you know about this case also and just see what comes through the cards. So that's what I did. And I felt this strong figure coming into the picture, bringing some light and some truth, about to shed light on something that would either dispel darkness or dispel the shadow, like getting rid of shadows and shedding light onto something. And it feels like it has to do directly with going on in that area of the world, that are that some light was being shed on it, or is being shed on it, or light was coming into the situation to shed light on something. This is crossed by this sad card, kind of a depressive card. And with the way the imagery that came up with this card, it felt like a shift or a change. And to me, it felt like things took a turn for the worse that was not expected, and that there was a turn or shift in the story that was not planned and did not go as planned. Okay. On top of this, we have an energy of the Sea King upside down, meaning a kingly figure or an authority figure or somebody who has clout that is devious or not using their power and influence in a good way, but in a subversive way. Okay. Underneath this, we have someone looking out, trying to shed light on a very murky worldview, a murky scenario, and looking to try to bring in some light and some truth, but being faced with some really kind of murky waters, not able or easily able to shed light and truth into a situation. Okay, and that probably is related to the sun, someone coming in, bringing light and truth into something. This is a card in the past position, the Five of Earth. This is like not taking risk, being careful with risk. I also got the feeling of someone being surveilled and watched, and someone without their knowledge. They didn't realize that they were being either stalked or watched. And that's basically in the past. Future position, we had the Four of Fire, and what came to me just intuitively, initially I thought of like almost like nuclear, but then it was like, no, that's not quite right, and then it felt like arms. This has to do with arms, munitions. Okay, that's kind of where I left off. Let me round out the last few cards in this spread. So the Ten of Earth, this is able to make a deal or making headway, progress into something that is lucrative or beneficial for someone. Bringing in pieces of the puzzle, money. This often has to deal with money and influence and power. Then we've got this card, the Cat. This is like starting off in a new venture, going a new direction. This is like brokering a new deal, and with this pointing directly to this card, brokering a new deal, an arms deal, some sort of money tied in, new relations moving forward, but it has to do with buying, probably with the strong purchase power down here with this card. The purchase of arms. That's what this is about primarily. Then we have the Strength card coming in. This is in the position of things wished or hoped for, and with the Strength card, this feels like there's pieces of people being protected. This is, I think there are, I want to say, not so much whistleblowers, but kind of like that. People who are maybe spies, who are being protected and sheltered. People who are working on it. It feels positive, so it feels like they're working on something good, but they're acting in the role of a spy, but it's like doing. I think it's doing good, not bad spying. If that makes sense, spying for a good cause. Anyway. So, but there's a protection around that. And then the top card, Outcome card. It's a little hard to see with the glare. This is the World card. So this is probably something bigger than just, one. This is obviously bigger than just one country or two. This is something that is it's affecting a larger amount. But with the world card and all of these being upright, this entire row, um, there's something going on with this that is tied in a positive way. And I know that sounds strange, but this is more than just. I think what happened with this sad card, like that, what happened to Mr. Khashoggi was like um, a, a detour or a turn, something that took a turn for the worse that wasn't expected or wasn't supposed to happen. Um, but it feels like overall, whatever this is about, and I don't know if Mr. Khashoggi was that person of power and influence. I don't know if that is him directly, or if this is indicative of somebody else. But there's also a subversive kingly influence too, which is probably what caused this disruption that was meant to disrupt relations, possibly related to arms. Some sort of deal brokered between other nations having to do with power and influence. That there's something going on behind the scenes, I think, more than what we know in the news. And I think that what happened, unfortunately, with Mr. Khashoggi was like a detour or not supposed to happen. So underneath it all, we have the Ten of Sky, which is like kind of an ominous card. This is like being backed up against the wall and having like your foundation kind of taken out from underneath you. So I think there's some subversive stuff going on in addition to the light being shed and the light coming into this situation. Somehow there was something that was positive that was coming in, and this thing kind of put a damper on everything. And possibly underneath this maybe is an attempt to ostracize or put a wedge or change the trajectory of these deals that are going on behind the scenes that affect world leaders. Now, I mean, I don't know how the selling of arms is looked at as like a positive thing, but I'm just showing what the cards are indicating with this whole row being upright and positive, feeling like there's something good tied into this, and that's just what I'm getting with the cards, that this thing with Mr. Khashoggi was unintended consequence that was unfortunate. But I think that there were some bad actors, obviously, whatever happened to him, but the energy of change or changing direction, that this was an attempt to change direction on light being shed on something. So I don't know if maybe this arms deal is going to expose something, and that's a good thing. Maybe it's shedding light on bringing out into the open something that was kind of exposing. So I don't know how that it's all gonna play out. I guess we'll have to see what comes of it. Like I said, I had to I was guided and told when I started this reading that you have to throw out everything you know, because what's going on underneath is not what's in the news, and you're not being told the whole story. And again, I hope that this didn't like completely, you know, I hope this clarified things. I don't know if it did or not for me. I just got a different picture about what this whole thing is about. So anyway, I think I'll leave that here. Of course, you know, say prayers for whatever happened to Mr. Khashoggi. That's unclear. I just get this sad turn of events. So, but I think that act, whether he was murdered or whatever the purpose was behind what happened to him, that I think failed in what they were attempting to use that for. So I guess that's good news. That I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. That maybe that the people that did this to him are not. Maybe they're not going to get away with it, or that what they were trying to do, their ultimate goal and aim, isn't going to work. But it's very unfortunate for Mr. Khashoggi if he did indeed lose his life. Of course, obviously that's very sad for his family. So, be praying for him and his family, that he'll find peace. But there could be more to this story even with him that we're not being shown yet. Okay, I'm gonna leave that here. If you like my channel, leave a like, subscribe if you want to. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll create more videos. I hope y'all are doing well. Intuitive Edge signing out. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.